Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to cover the first pickup capsule for the month of January. And this month we have a really exciting pickup capsule because there's a total of 3 top tier Tsums that you definitely should try to get. So this is one of the pickup capsule you definitely should put all your time and effort into trying and clearing. So definitely try to clear it if you can. Before I go into which ones you should have, let's go over all 6 of the Tsums that we have. So just like any other pickup capsule, there's going to be a total of 15 Tsums, and if you're able to clear the entire pickup capsule, meaning that you could get all 15 Tsums from this pickup capsule, then at the very end you're going to get the last prize. Normally I would only recommend you to clear the pickup capsule if you could clear it, but in this case, because there are 3 top tier Tsums in here, as long as you get at least 1 copy of these Tsums, then you'll be good. So let's take a look at the 6. We have 2 copies of Moana, 2 copies of Officer Judy, 2 copies of Owl, 3 copies of Judy Hopps, 3 copies of Patch, and 3 copies of Maleficent. So the 3 top tier Tsums that's in this pickup capsule is Moana, Owl, and Patch. And let me talk a little bit more about each one of them. And the reason why I consider them a top tier Tsum is because as long as you have these 3 Tsums, you're going to be able to get through a lot of the missions, a lot of the bingos a lot easier. These 3 Tsums are going to be good for a certain mission. So for example, Moana is going to be good for bubbles as well as specifically score bubbles. Owl is going to be good for a skill mission. So for those missions that require you to get like 13 skills in one game, you'll be able to do that. And then Patch is amazing for combos. He's either going to be the best or one of the best Tsums for combos. So stay tuned, we'll find out a little bit more about who really is the best Tsum for combos. But Patch is definitely up there. So definitely try to get Moana, Patch, and Owl if you can. Even if you don't have 450 coins saved up to clear up the pickup capsule, definitely try to invest in this pickup capsule to get one of these Tsums. But regardless, let's get into the game demonstration and I'll talk through why I think these 3 Tsums are the best. So the first Tsum that we have is Moana. And Moana's ability description is clears a horizontal line of Tsum Tsum, turning Moana's Tsum Tsum into bubbles. And I'm currently playing Moana at skill level 6, so her skill range is going to be extra large. In order for me to activate her ability, I will need a total of 8 Moanas cleared off the screen to activate her ability. Now as you level up Moana, you'll require less and less Tsums to activate her ability, and the skill range is going to be bigger. The skill range is in reference to that little wave that comes out when her ability is activated, and that is the area that's going to turn Moanas into bubbles. And if there are no Moanas in those areas, those Tsums will be wiped out, but if there is a Moana there, then those will turn into bubbles. So one of the strategy to using Moana is you don't want to over clear Moanas off the screen. Just keep in mind that you're going to need 8 Tsums to activate her ability at skill level 6. If you have her at a lower level, you're likely going to need more. But for me, I am playing her at skill level 6, so I'm going to need 8. So to prevent me from overcharging, I'm constantly going to be checking my charge up bar to see how much I have already. So for example, if my bar is already halfway charged, then I'm only going to aim to only clear 4 more Moanas off the screen to activate the ability. And I also want to target to drop all the Moanas to the bottom half of the screen to turn them all into bubbles. So as you see in this game demonstration, I left the mission at the very top, and this mission is counting how many bubbles I'm making. And as of right now, halfway through the game, I already have 80 bubbles. So as you can see, Moana is a really good Tsum to make a lot of bubbles. So if you have those missions that require you to make bubbles, this is perfect for that. And sometimes you have missions that specifically call for score bubble, and Moana is going to be the best Tsum to make score bubbles. So keep that in mind if you ever have a mission that requires you to make bubbles or score bubbles, then definitely should try to use Moana. And again, you definitely don't want to activate the ability right away. You actually want to wait a little bit of time to make sure that the bottom of the screen has Moanas before you activate the ability. Activating the ability too quickly without Moanas at the bottom could lead to underperforming on the bubble generation. So as you see on this clear in particular, I was able to make a bunch of score bubbles on the screen. And for this gameplay, I did strive to make as much bubbles as possible. So I just wanted to see how many bubbles I could actually make. And at the end of this gameplay for Moana at skill level 6, I was able to make 154 bubbles. The score is decent, it's not too bad, but the bubbles is where it's at. So that's why you should at least get 1 copy of Moana. Okay, next we have Officer Judy. And Officer Judy's ability description is clear all the Tsum Tsum in the center. I'm currently playing Officer Judy at skill level 4, so the skill range is going to be medium. And Officer Judy's ability is very simple and it's very beginner friendly. All you really have to do is just make sure the center area has a lot of Tsums before you activate her ability, and you'll be good to go. The higher the skill level, the bigger the skill range is, and I currently don't have Officer Judy maxed out, so if you do have Officer Judy at a higher skill level, the burst area is definitely going to be a lot bigger, but even at skill level 4, it's already pretty good. At the end of this gameplay, Officer Judy at skill level 4, I was able to get 2,681 coins, so that's pretty good for a skill level 4 Tsum. Next, we have Owl from Winnie the Pooh, and Owl's ability description is spawn magic bubble automatically. I'm currently playing Owl at skill level 6, and I only need 3 Tsums cleared off the screen to activate his ability. And to be clear, that's 3 owls off the screen, it's not just any random Tsums, but it almost looks like that, right? If you're looking on the screen, it seems like owl just keeps coming out. And I left that counter at the top, so to show you how many skills I was actually able to get in this particular gameplay. In this case, all you really have to do is spot as many owls as you can and swipe as much as possible to clear them. And I prioritized clearing owls over the other Tsums as much as possible because I wanted to see how many skills I could actually activate per game. And as you could see, Owl is going to be a really good Tsum for those missions that you have that require you to activate like 10 skills per game, 16 skills per game. Especially those one-play missions could be a little bit difficult once it gets to the double-digit requirements, or you might get one of those missions that require you to get 100 or so skills in total, and those in total ones just take a lot of time. However, if you have a Tsum like Owl, that's going to fly by really quickly. You could even get it done in 2 games if you wanted to. I haven't seen any 100 skill missions, but typically you get like 64 or 70 skills in total, and those do take up a lot of time if you don't have the right Tsum. So Owl could really help you out with that. At the end of this gameplay, Owl at skill level 6, I was able to activate a total of 74 skills in one game. So that is amazing. Owl is going to be the best skill maker in this entire game. So definitely try to get one copy of Owl if you can. Owl is going to be really amazing even at skill level 1. And that's why I recommend getting Owl at least at skill level 1, because this is going to really help you. And also Owl is a limited Tsum, so if you don't get them now, then you won't be able to get them later. But as you can tell, coin is not amazing, so just keep that in mind that you're not using Owl for coins, but you're really using it for the skill ability. Next, we have Judy Hopps from Zootopia. And Judy Hopps' ability description is time your taps carefully to clear the center of the field. I'm currently playing Judy Hopps at skill level 6, so the skill range is going to be extra large. So the way you want to use Judy Hopps is when you activate the ability, look at the light and also look at the circle that shows up on the screen. Right when you see the circle shows up on the screen, that's when you actually want to tap it. You could look at it 2 ways. You can either look at the light or look for the circle. Once the circle shows up, that's when you want to tap it. So why tap it as fast as possible, you might wonder. If you wait a little bit longer, that circle actually starts to shrink. And when that bubble starts to shrink or the circle starts to shrink, your blast radius is going to be smaller and smaller, therefore clearing you less Tsums and then therefore less coins. So that's one of the ways that you want to optimize Judy Hopps to earn a lot of coins. And if you mess up from time to time, that's okay. Essentially that clear will just earn you less coins. So if you are looking at the stoplight itself, right when it turns red, that's when you want to tap it. In some of the game demonstrations, I didn't tap it right away, therefore making the bubble a little bit smaller. If you have the audio on as well, you'll be able to hear if you tapped it perfectly. Usually you'll hear a little cheer if you did do it right. But Judy Hopps is a really fun Tsum. It's not necessarily going to earn you a lot of coins, but I think that because you have to time it perfectly and to do it really fast, I like that aspect of the ability. But because Judy Hopps is not necessarily a top coin earner, it's not that great. At the end of this gameplay, at skill level 6, I ended up with 2,268 coins, so definitely not amazing, but a fun Tsum nevertheless. Okay, next we have another top tier Tsum in this pickup box, and it's Patch. And Patch is from the 101 Dalmatian series, and his ability description is tap as many times as the number of footprints to clear a horizontal line of Tsum Tsum. I'm currently playing Patch at skill level 6, so his skill range is going to be extra large. And for Patch, if you look at the very bottom of the screen when you activate the ability, you'll see 3 little footprints. And I believe between all the skill levels, you should have 3 footprints. The footprints represents how many times you could tap the screen. And what happens when you tap the screen is a bunch of Dalmatians will run across, clearing a bunch of Tsums off the screen. And because I am playing currently at skill level 6, that clear radius is going to be really big. And typically I'm able to clear the entire screen for the most part. And one of the strategy that you want to use for patch is you want to start from the bottom to the top, meaning that you're going to do a footprint at the very bottom and then the middle area and at the top. If you are playing with your fingers like myself, I am someone who plays with the finger, but if you play with a stylus, then you could just tap away. I usually use two hands, and I use my left hand, then right hand I tap the middle, and then the left hand I tap the top. You just alternate to really cut down on the time. I have tried clearing from top to bottom versus bottom to top, and that's not really the most optimized way, so you definitely want to tap from bottom to the top. It doesn't really matter if you do it on the left hand side or the right hand side. It only matters on the vertical space. So as long as you tap on the bottom and the middle and then the top, then that's all it matters. It doesn't matter if you're doing bottom left corner or right bottom corner, it's still the same height. And really, patch is going to be amazing for combo because every time you activate the ability, it's about 45 combos. Each time you activate the ability or each Tsum that you pop will count as one combo. And at the end of this gameplay, I was able to get 565 combos, and Patch is one of the best Tsums, if not the best Tsum for combo, so at least get one copy of Patch so that way you can level it up. Okay, and finally we have Maleficent from the Maleficent series. Her ability description is clear surrounding Tsum Tsum along with the connected ones. I'm currently playing Maleficent at skill level 6, so the ability is going to last a total of 6 seconds. If you have her at a lower skill level, that time is going to be shorter. But ultimately what Maleficent does is when you activate her ability, any Tsums that you pop will burst the ones that are also touching that Tsum, and it's not restricted to only Maleficent Tsum, it's also going to work for other Tsums that are not Maleficent. So in my case here, I am clearing Lotso. As long as you clear those Tsums, the surrounding ones will also be burst in that 6-second time limit. And if you're wondering if you're still in the ability time or not, you will always see that there are vines crawling around, and that's how you'll know that you're still currently in ability time and that you'll be bursting adjacent Tsums along with the Tsums that you're clearing. Maleficent used to be one of the top tier Tsums when the game got released, and there was a lot of hype around it because this was one of the top coin earners. But as the game progressed, Maleficent became less and less important because there are better Tsums out there. And at the end of this gameplay, Maleficent at skill level 6, I ended up with 1,934. So when the game first got launched, this would be considered really great, but because now we have like Jedi Luke, Gaston, and other Tsums that gets a lot of coins, Maleficent has fallen down on the tier list. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting Maleficent, but if you want a original amazing Tsum, then Maleficent is the way to go. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope that you guys found it helpful in finding out which ones are the top tier Tsums and which ones you must have. So I highly recommend you guys to get Moana, Owl, and Patch because those 3 Tsums are really going to help you in accelerating your gameplay and be able to get through those difficult missions. Alright, well, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful and would like to support this channel, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.